All right. Well, my name is Justin Cruz Uribe, and I own Furryland in the Green Bay, Wisconsin territory. And I have had it for less than a year, but it's been growing, and I'm excited about it.
Awesome, Justin. Well, thank you for joining us today and taking some time to answer some questions about Furryland. I guess we'll go ahead and hop right into it. What made you choose to go with Furryland over other opportunities out there in the market?
Yeah. So, what made me choose to invest in Furryland over other opportunities? I chose Furryland because I saw a market that was ripe for growth. This is, pet market, and I feel like people really baby and have a lot of care for their pets. So I decided to choose that. I looked at about 12 or so other opportunities before choosing and deciding on Furryland. And I'm glad that I did because the culture there was another thing that sold me after I talked with a lot of the people at Furryland, especially the Longs, Greg and Maria. I felt that they had the right mindset for what needed to be done with a franchise.
That's great. And you said you've been doing it for about a year, is that correct? Can you tell us your exact start date?
Sure. We opened in the beginning or the end of June, beginning of July of 2024. So it hasn't quite been a year yet, a few more months and we'll be at a year, but yeah, that's about it.
That's incredible. Well, I'll tell you, being so early in at just under a year, I guess that leads into my next question. Can you share a specific time our support teams helped you overcome a challenge in the business so far?
Sure. So can I share a specific time that the support team at Furryland helped me overcome a challenge in my business? Since opening, we've had many challenges,
Mhm.
as I'm sure a lot of people who own businesses would say. There's one thing after another, it seems like. But the best example for me is we hired a lead groomer. This was the prospect that we had, and I was a little bit reluctant, but we didn't have a lot of other opportunities or options. We chose that person. They didn't really work out. It didn't last long, unfortunately. But I turned around with the team at Furryland. We pivoted. We were able to really hone in on the interviewing and hiring process, and we found ourselves a great lead groomer slash general manager pretty quickly, actually. And that was very fortunate for us. So I was really glad to have Furryland support in that regard.
That's awesome. Can you share just a quick example of what made your current GM head lead groomer stand out to you on that side?
Definitely. She had grooming experience and she had experience running or helping to run a business that was a grooming business before. It was a brick and mortar business. But I think the nice thing about that is we kind of sold her on it by saying, this is mobile, this is convenient. She was very intrigued by that, and so coupled with her experience, it was a perfect union, so to speak.
That's amazing. I love that, and I'm glad it worked out. And that's what a franchise system's there to do: support you and help you grow. And like you said, sometimes we have to pivot. We have to move into different things because things don't work out. So I'm glad that that was able to work out well for you. Now, can you talk about a job that you've done or your team's completed that's really helped you feel especially proud, being so new into this business?
Sure. Yeah. So tell you guys about a project or a job that my team and myself had worked on and completed that we felt proud about. Um, we were approached by a local TV station. They had seen the van around, which is one of the greatest things because it's just this advertisement that's rolling around everywhere. And they were really keen on doing some marketing with us. So I worked closely with my business development manager in that. She was invaluable in making sure that we found the right plan to do the local marketing that was the most cost effective for us.
Hmm.
There were a lot of different options that they pitched, and of course, they want the highest price, pitch that they're going to give you. But it wasn't the best option, and we found what that best option was. And we were able to make a commercial out of that. We had a lot of ads on YouTube as a result of that. It was a great win for my territory, my area.
That's awesome. Now I've got to ask because some people are a little camera shy. So how was it going on camera? Was that your first time doing a commercial?
It was my first time doing a commercial, but I had no problem with it. don't mind being in front of people. I'm a martial arts instructor, so being in front of people and doing that is not a problem for me at all.
And it helps when you're doing something you love. It's you could talk forever about something that you enjoy doing. So, what a
Yes.
cool opportunity! Looking forward to that seeing that commercial, and we'll get that shared out sometime.
Yeah.
If somebody were to be looking into Furryland today to open up their own location in their market, what's some advice you give to somebody starting out?
Sure. Yeah. So, what advice would I give to someone just starting out as a franchise owner with Furryland? Keep your eyes open, do your own research, do your due diligence. You obviously have to do those things. But I think what you need to remember is that Furryland is going to be there to support you. So, you might be cautious at first, you may ask a lot of questions. Those are all good things, and that's very natural. But in my experience, finding this franchise, they've been one to say we're going to do this, and then they do it. If you're worried about something that you have in your market or a challenge that you have, they'll be there to support you. And then just the last thing, be patient in your endeavor. You might seem like this is something that you step into and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to be a business owner, I'm going to be rich, or whatever your thoughts are. But be patient with it. It's going to take some time to build. That's probably the number one key, and I remind myself of that, all the time too. So it's important.
And again, I would say businesses, the franchise can help them grow quicker, but they're not built in a day. So, like you said,
Right.
there's going to be times where you have obstacles and things to overcome. And I'm glad that the support team is there every step of the way with you on that.
Definitely.
Um, and I guess one more question as we wrap up here, just to ask you. It's been a year. I'm sure it's been like drinking from a fire hose with the training and the support and the coaching calls, and I love that. That's what we want for you. But what's been the most reporting or rewarding part of the business so far for you since you've got started?
Yeah. Well, what's been the most rewarding part of my franchise journey? I think for me, simply put, seeing the business grow. Seeing that actually start to develop and come into its own.
Mhm.
At first, everybody is, I guess there's a lot of trepidation, there's a concern, is this going to work? But seeing that actually start to take off, seeing clients come in, seeing pets be groomed, seeing happy faces of customers, all those things, that's great. I mean, you see the fruit of your labor come to fruition, and I think being part of that great franchise is also rewarding, and so keep those things in mind. But it is amazing to see the business start to grow.
That's awesome. Well, Justin, thank you so much. And like I said, I love seeing people like yourself that are so new into it, but you're doing so well, and the business is just growing. I appreciate your time today, and thank you for joining us and answering some questions for some people who that was in your shoes a year ago, I guess. So thank you for doing
Sure.
so.
You're very welcome. Thanks.
All right. So now I'm just going to turn the record off, Justin. Give me 1 second.